The intention of this video is for me to vlog my experience reading The Empire of Gold, aka my most anticipated release of this year. And she's not starting out well, which is mildly concerning for me. I've never successfully vlogged anything. Never. I've tried doing it for a couple things, and normally halfway through I'm tired of looking at my face. So yeah, I'm hoping to vlog my experience reading The Empire of Gold. I'm going to be getting it in my hands in like the next couple hours or so, but before that I have to film my June wrap up, and I'm very tired. Like I said, this vlog isn't starting out well. I slept terribly last night, and not even because I'm so excited, that kind of stuff, like, nope. But I guess I'll check in later when I am about to acquire the book. See you then. I hate this already. I hate doing this. I feel like I'm on a covert mission because I'm terrified of vlogging in any sort of public. But I'm just outside the bookstore. I'm going to finally get The Empire of Gold in my hands. If they don't have it, you might see me cry, and we will be desperately driving out to another Indigo or just buying the ebook. I'm not sure. That would be upsetting. I just thought of that now. Way to ruin my fun. I always ruin my fun. That's always great. I have my mask and I'm about to enter my bookstore for the first time in like 4 months, which is fun. Yet still anxiety inducing every time I have to go into a public space. This is wonderful. So I assume if you're watching this, you're a big fan of the Daevabad trilogy, and I don't know where you're based in the world, but in Canada, they have immediately been putting them out in paperback when the books have been released. At least they did for the Kingdom of Copper. I'm not sure about the City of Brass because I didn't read it right away, but the Kingdom of Copper immediately came out in paperback. I didn't have to buy the hardcover right when the book came out. So I just assumed that I'd be able to access the paperback. And that's a no, which sucks. So I had to buy the hardcover of The Empire of Gold, which would have been fine if I didn't already have a hardcover of The Empire of Gold coming to me. I bought the Fay Crate version where you get the signed hardcover. So I don't actually know what I'm going to do. I might just end up having an extra copy that I didn't anticipate buying. I guess I should tell you that I actually plan on reading the book soon. As soon as I get set up and buy the paperback, I think I'm going to yeah, start reading, and I'm nervous. It's funny that I do this. I'll anticipate something so much, and then the second I get the thing in my hands, I immediately get scared. So now I'm going to try to start reading it. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I have a whole kind of predictions video if you want to watch. Not a predictions video, a review of the Kingdom of Copper and some predictions and things that I think are going to go on here in the final book. Now that I have it in my hands, I'm terrified. There's nothing else I can do but read it. So we're gonna start. Also, fun fact, the paperback isn't available and I hate my life. Moving on. Okay, so I have finished my first 100 pages and I thought I should check in for a bit. Not much has happened, but I didn't expect it to because the book is 750 pages. But I'm going to take a break from reading, go make lunch, and go outside and read some more. Maybe go swimming. I forgot to mention this before, but this is my first time off in a long time, and I have 2 days off, which I'm very excited for. And I'm hoping that I get the whole book read before I have to go back to work on Thursday. I hope so. We shall see. I'm liking it so far. Things are getting more and more complicated, as things tend to do in Daevabad. Manaisa is cracked. We've known this. She will do anything to get her throne, even destroy her daughter. I'm really sympathizing with Dara, but he needs to grow up and do some changing. And I also think the romance is already being hinted to between Nahri and Ali. They both thought the other one hated one another, and they're like, no, I could never do that. It's like, bitch, please, you guys are in love. And I'll just deal with it. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, them two being in a relationship. Would I have rather Dara? Yeah, but what Dara has done, just, I don't think there's any coming back from that, and I think he's probably going to die. So we shall see. So I currently am very much tempting fate. I'm scared. I read a lot while floating about, but I don't mess around with my phone because that would be a nightmare to drop in the water. But I've since reached part 2. I'm 200 pages in, and I'm liking finally the direction it's going. Not that I wasn't liking it before. I'm liking that Dara is now actively lying to Meniza and not, I guess, dealing with her garbage. She sucks. She's garbage, and it's time he lies and helps the other side. Now I'm expecting there's going to be a slight time jump because they're not going to have Ali and Nahri be in a boat for months on end traveling to Tani Tree, whatever it is. But I'm excited to get to the new part, excited to keep reading, and I'm going to put my phone down because I'm very nervous about getting it wet. So I don't actually remember when I last updated you at all. I know I was swimming, but I don't remember what I said. I'm on page 236, and it is now 8 p.m. I think I'm going to watch TV for a bit, and then also continue to chug away as much as I can on the book. I wanted to try and get halfway today, but that seems unlikely. But tomorrow is Canada Day, and I have most of the day free, which is nice. And I have a little friend who has joined me. Say hello to Brewster. Hi, honey. Somebody is actually cuddling with me for once. That's nice. Normally he's stalking my mother, and I don't think Brewster's ever been on my channel before. Ding dong. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading. I'm officially on part 2. I think I've already said that before. I don't remember. I hate vlogging.
Okay, so I just woke up. Actually, more like I woke up an hour and a half ago because my body's determined to hate me. Even on my days off, I can't sleep in anymore because I guess adulthood is fun. Anyway, so last night I got up to page 312. I'm on chapter 21, and things are starting to heat up, and I'm liking the direction things are going. I just finished the part where Nahri and Ali escaped on a ship, like a pirate ship, and we met like a pirate Shafi lady named Faiza, who I really like, and Dara is starting to plot and plan. That stuff I'm enjoying. Yeah, I'm just glad to see him go away from Anais and him start plotting and planning and actually working with Muntadir, which is always a dynamic that I think is going to be fun. I also yesterday forgot to mention that I watched the launch of the of S.A. Chakraborty and the I think it's Intrabang Books, which is a independent owned bookstore in Texas, and that event was really fun. And I'm hoping actually to check out the one that's happening tonight, which is happening with R.F. Kuang and S.A. Chakraborty, and I love those two authors so much that I would love to see them work and talk together. That sounds great. So I'm really hoping that I can manage to watch that as well. But I'm going to read now in the morning before anyone bugs me and see how far I get. So I've already only been reading for like 15 minutes, and I am convinced utterly that he is going to die. Dara is going to die. He can't have a moment of peace. He was at a party for 2 seconds. He got laid, which I was surprised by, but I'm glad he's not pining over Nahri, even though my heart would still want Nahri and Dara to be together, but clearly that ship has sailed. He found his relic, and we're finally going to find out how Manai's erased him back from like the dead the first time, which is interesting, but that poor man can't have a moment of peace, and I think he's going to be granted peace through death, which is a trope I'm not loving currently, but I guess it's probably fitting for Dara, who's been alive multiple times and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he's he's a goner. So, I look like a human because my brother's graduated high school and my parents have decided that we're going to the keg. And I don't have much choice in the matter, and I'm very, very stressed about going. And I'm not thrilled. I did manage to read about 100 pages this morning and did some other things. And I'd just like to put on the record also that I'm not American, I'm Canadian, and our numbers are vastly different. That's what I'm trying to tell myself. I don't want to go, but have to, so I'm gonna read in the car. Won't update you, obviously. Hello, good morning. So I didn't check in at all last night because I didn't read last night. So much for me finishing this book before I have to go back to work, which I am. I am going to work today, tomorrow, and then I have the weekend off, which is nice. And I'm probably going to be finishing the book on the weekend now. Damn, I really wanted to have it done before I had to go back to work, but it's fine. I think I'm like just over 400 pages into the story. Yeah, I haven't read anything other than what I read in the morning of yesterday. Good morning. It is the next day. It's Friday now, and I have no idea when I last checked in, if I did anything yesterday. But we're just gonna move on and not think about it, because if I think about it, I'm just going to continue to want to trash this vlog like I have with every other vlog I've ever done in my life. Last night, I read about 100 pages, I think just over 100 pages, and I'm on around page 500 now. And I realized, as much as I've been updating you at the page count, I haven't really been talking about my thoughts so far on what's been going on in the Empire of Gold. So I thought I'd do that this morning before I have to go to work. I actually also got up somewhat early, so I'm hoping that I can read a bit before I go to work, because I was planning on finishing the book tonight. 250 pages left, and I really wanted to do that. But Hamilton has just come out, and I think my friend and I are gonna watch it like together via like Skype or something. I'm also getting very close to chapter 38, which everyone has been talking about as like some devastating thing, and I'm nervous. I'm pretty sure Dara's gonna die. But okay, so my thoughts so far. I would say overall I think the book is going not exactly as I expected it to be, whatever. And I'm not mad at it. I guess I'm so used to reading fantasy where there is like war at the last book, and like sieges on cities and like all that kind of stuff, and like building up your army and going to attack that. And it's not like that at all. Like they've like suggested it, but that was never what they were going to really attempt to do. So I'm wondering how we're going to finish it, if it's going to be a thing where the other magical creatures of this world get involved, like the Peris and Marid. At this point in time, I just got past the passage where Ali has had the ring taken out of his heart, and he's about to go submit himself to the Marid, and him and Nahri are going to be separated, which is really, really heartbreaking. In my heart in the series, I definitely did want Dara and Nahri to be together, but that was, oh my god, I knew that was gonna happen. We've lost the angle, but we're gonna deal with it, sorry. As I was saying, in my heart at the very beginning and thinking about this series, I did want Dara and Nahri to be together, but I've always known that they shouldn't be. It's something, I would compare it to my feelings a little bit. It's not a perfect comparison, but you know, like Rey and Kylo Ren. I really liked the idea of them being together in like the Star Wars movies in episode 7, 8, and 9. I liked the dynamic. I liked that pull, but Kylo Ren was a genocidal murderer. Like the whole movie was trash, but the second they got together, my guts and instincts went no. Like I immediately was like, no, this is wrong. Even though they don't get together, she just kisses him. Like, I just had a feeling in my gut going, no, this is awful.
And I know that's how I would feel if Dara and Nahri ended up getting together, because Dara, as much as I love him, he's committed so many terrible, terrible things. And you learn how he was manipulated at a young age and how he's constantly made the mistakes and he deeply regrets them, which is good. But he still hasn't done much to atone. And I still will bring it back to, in the first book, and the book itself even addresses it, but in the first book when he decides to kidnap Nahri, I definitely think that was when the text and the reader should, and rightly so, should be like, oh no, they're not supposed to be together, because he did not value her opinion, her choice. He disrespected her. And that's actually, fun fact, why I gave the book 4 stars the first time I read it and not 5, because I was so mad about the ending. So I actually really do genuinely like Nahri and Ali together. I think they are well matched. Their dynamic is adorable. It just took me a while to let go of like my grand thoughts of Dada, but I'm certain he's gonna die. And that's also another trope that I'm not going to be a fan of. It's something I've noticed so much in media recently, where you have a somewhat morally gray character who wants to do good again. Just noticed my eye is swollen. Wonderful. But when you have a character who's done some really bad things but wants to atone, and the only way authors and writers can think to do it is to kill them. I actually really like how S.A. Chakraborty has been writing her. I watched a couple of her like live show launches this week, and she talked a lot about how she wanted this female villain to be treated like fairly. Like, she's obviously a terrible person, but she wants the reader to understand her motivations, and why and how she has turned into what she was. Like, it wasn't always set in stone that she was going to be and do all these evil things, but the way she was treated and her thirst for power has really warped her, and she's fully gone off the deep end. The slaughter of all the Deva citizens was really, really difficult to read, and I think Shannon has done a really good job at portraying why or how these evils are so very evil. I guess the plan will be for me to finish it tonight and tomorrow morning, Saturday. I'm not working, which is nice, and I will tell everyone don't bother me until I've finished. I've been dragging my feet a little bit on finishing it, to be honest, because I'm sad that we will be leaving the Daevabad world. A couple of bright spots though is that Netflix has picked up the series, so I might get to see it on screen on like TV, which is wild to me. And Shannon has also said that she does think in the future she will revisit Daevabad, which is nice. Oh my god, I look terrible. Good morning. Where the hell is my book? So with my newest update, I have now read 100 pages. I didn't read anything last night because after I finished watching Hamilton with my friend, we just talked. It was late, and then I went to bed because I was tired. So this morning I've gone and read 100 pages, and I'm now on chapter 41. And it's really starting to hit me now that the series is about to be over. I have 150 pages left, and it's a weird feeling when something that you've loved for such a long time and you've looked forward to the ending for such a long time, but then when it comes to end, it sucks. I swear I'm not crying, but it's just watering. And I guess some of the endings that I've read and experienced recently, ones that I was looking forward to, they've disappointed me. So you don't have those weird feelings wrapped up into the fact that a world, a series, characters that you love, you're never going to see them again, or if you do, it's going to be in a different, very, very different scenario, and it's weird. I've gotten past the part where Ali has given up his magic and like succumbed to his Marid ancestry and is about to raise an army, which that was rough. It was hard to see him have to give that up, and as much as you would like him to go back to normal, obviously if this book is written the way I think it will be, it's not going to just renege on something that he had to give up. And
make something easy for him and make him look the way he wants to look again, because that just would dash the stakes. I did get through chapter 38, and I understand why people talk about that, because reading about the devastation was incredibly difficult. To read the absolute horror that Dara inflicted against his own will, the fact that Manaiza went so far as to make Dara a slave again and do that, it's disgusting, it's terrible, it's awful, and it's hard to it was hard to stomach. And while I know I've been talking about that Dara is going to have to die, the fact that it's going to have to be Nahri to deliver the killing fatal blow, like that hurts just thinking about it. So the fact that I'm gonna have to read that actually happen is rough. And I don't know if I'm gonna read any more right now, because I have some things to do today and I don't want to be interrupted and have like 50 pages left of the book. So I don't know if I'm going to save the rest of it for tonight. We'll see. Direct recreation of me after finishing The Empire of Gold is to play this GIF from Arrested Development. That fully was me. The second I finished it, I hopped into the shower and just cried. I cried for a lot of reasons, and I am so happy to say that I absolutely loved the ending. I find it so ironic because for a good portion of this vlog, it was me bitching and moaning about how I knew Dara was going to die and how I'm so tired of those sorts of tropes and arcs and how they never let people atone. And I should have had faith in S.A. Chakraborty. I should have, but she did exactly what I want. There were so many twists and turns in here that I didn't expect. I couldn't get over the fact that Nahri refused to kill Dara. She stabs herself to piss off a bunch of magical beings. This finale just feels so earned, and I say that with like the best compliments ever. I really like the fact that we got like 40 pages of what happens after like the main events and how they're going to have to pick up the pieces of what Daevabad was and how Daevabad's landscape has changed so much, literally and figuratively. This also has, I think, one of my favorite types of endings where it is not entirely definitive. Their work is only really just getting started. Ali and Nahri and Ali's siblings, they all have so much work to do to establish a new system that, like, it's a bittersweet ending. It's the best type of ending. They've technically won, but there's still a lot of work to do. They have experienced loss and devastation, and there's still sadness, so much sadness, but we finally get to find out that Nahri's parents, her mother wasn't Manaiza like we all thought, or we're all led to believe, but her father was actually Rustam, Manaiza's father, and that her mother was Egyptian, which I know means a lot to Nahri, and that she still has living family. When she found out that she had family, I wanted to sob. Oh my god, I could cry now thinking about it. No thank you. No thank you. I've had too much crying in the past week. But I thought it was a very fitting end that Dara tricked Nahri. He read a mark, or he read his mark, and he got Manaiza. And as terrible and tragic that is, because Dara has lived centuries thinking that the Nahids are to be followed and all this kind of stuff, and they are the best. It's emotional and it's heartbreaking, and I think this is just a great finale. I wish I had taken some more time to enjoy reading the finale, but I do this all the time. But when there's something I am so attached to reading or attached to experiencing, especially a finale, I will rush through something in fear of what's going to happen, and then when the end happens, then I can relax, then I can breathe. And I know, seriously speaking, that this is one of the best finales I've read. This definitely is a fitting end to a very beautiful series that might be my all-time favorite series. I'd have to do some rereading to fully admit to that, but I do think it is my all-time favorite series, which is wild. And honestly, I think I could benefit from a reread in here so I could remember everything that happened, so I can see what was alluded to, what was set up, so I can enjoy it without worrying that everyone is going to die and their way of life is going to die. It's just, I'm happy. I sobbed, I cried. I hate the fact that it's over, and I'm also happy that I finally read the final thing. Motherfucker, I'm trying so hard not to cry, and it's not working. God. But saying goodbye is never easy. I'm just comforted by the fact that it was satisfying, wonderful, and it has a good chunk of my heart. I think this is the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching, for choosing to go on to this journey with me. I assume if you've watched it, you also love The City of Brass and the series, so I would love to talk to you about it in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this wasn't a trash fire. We'll see when I get to edit it. But yeah, thank you very much. I can't remember my outro because I'm not in my regular spot. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye.